So, what are you going to talk about today, Lauren? I'm going to talk about my greatest fear. Well, I have two, so I'm going to talk about my weirdest greatest fear. Let's get started. Okay, so really my greatest fear is, well, one of them is sauces. It's not the weirdest one. You know, there are people out there who are afraid of buttons, and if you're afraid of buttons while watching this, I'm sorry. But, you know, buttons they're useful. I've got them on my shirt. Anyway, the fact is, the reason why I'm scared of sauces is a very, very psychological thing. It's essentially because when I was younger, I was on the toilet, I was 3, so I didn't bother closing the door. My sister decides to come up behind me. Well, not behind me, because I'm an idiot. Oh god. My sister decides to come up in front of me, put ketchup on her leg, you know, obviously without me seeing, jump in front of the door and scream at the top of her lungs that she sliced her legs open. Thanks, Hannah. Love you too. My other greatest fear is death. Yep. It's not the most unusual, you know, fear, but, you know, I can avoid sauces. You know, my mum hides them in the house. I avoid them as much as possible. I can. That's the one thing I can do is I can avoid ketchup. I can avoid brown sauce. I can avoid mayonnaise. I can avoid it. But I can't avoid death. You know, it's gonna happen to everyone. And the fact is, the thing that scares me, you know, the most is that, you know, it's gonna come and just take you, and you can't do anything about it. And it's not like I believe in any religion, so I don't believe that there's any resting place after death, so it doesn't really help me. So what I'm thinking of in my, you know, death thing, the fact is, if I die, that means I am just going to be in nothingness. You know, pitch blackness, no consciousness at all. And that kind of scares me a little bit. But then, you know, you're sitting in bed thinking about this, and then you start picturing your own funeral, and it's not exactly a good thing, because, you know, I'm sitting there, you know, thinking about, you know, dying and stuff, and, you know, picturing my own funeral, and I kind of want to know, I have two ways of how I want to be, you know, a nice send-off, you know, the traditional send-off with, you know, where they lower your body into the ground, and, you know, everybody's crying and upset, you know, my parents are just sitting there, you know, with a tear in their eye. Good to know that I died before my parents. Probably of cholesterol! Yeah, there's that, and then I kind of... This is really, really interesting, because I find this, like, it's super expensive, like, but, you know, how... When I die, it could be, you know, really, really cheap. They burn you, they take your ashes, and then they compress you and make you into a diamond, and then they fit you into a ring or a necklace or whatever. And I love the idea of being a piece of jewelry around one of my relatives' necks. Oh, that's such a beautiful necklace. Why, thank you. Where did you get it? The morgue. What? It's my mum. It's a conversation starter. No? Really? Fine. I thought it was good. Anyway, that's my... Yeah. Think about it. Okay, I'm gonna go. Whoosh. Wow, I really did sound like a show host. That's it.